up, guys? RGB Edits here. It's been a while since I've done a tutorial. I'm going to revisit the syncing and go a little more detail than last time. First off, for syncing, we'll start with timer mapping. So first you're going to want to grab your song, throw it into a compare. You're going to double click L, bring up your waves, find the part of the song you want to sync to. So we're just going to start here. So the first set of markers here I have just on the snare. We'll call these for the shots. I'm just going to label them H for hit. I don't know why. This is what I've always just done. Just so I know where the gunshots should be. So if you have the gunshots on the same kind of beat each time, so for example the snare, the hi-hat, or the kick, then the sync will stand a lot more to the viewers. Then after, I'm going to come back in, get the beats in between. These are ones you can sync screen pumps to, movement, things like that. So there we go. So that should be good enough. So we'll just call it done there. Shrink the comp down. Then you're gonna go in and grab your clip. So we got an old quad I hit a long time ago. The game first came out. You're gonna go scrub through and find your first shot. Find that first shot, hit Control T for timer map. You're gonna bring that over here and line that up. You want to take away your audio for now. Here's your first shot. You can scrub through, and you know your second shot has to be around here. So you're gonna go find it. Keep going until he makes a shot right there. Keyframe, drag it back. Keep going until you find your next shot. So he goes for quite the run. Find your shot. So there's a couple things you can do here. You can keyframe this to this one here, or this one here, the two closest. And you'll have some fast-paced syncing in between. Or you can make a cut here. And then make the shot on this marker here. So for the sake of the tutorial, I think I'm just going to keyframe it to this one here. Leave this for the bolt, then make a cut on the snare. So, make a cut on the snare, and drag this until the keyframes here. Just cut this. We'll make the transition here later more smooth. Now, since you're into a new clip, you're going to hit you and your keyboard, open the keyframes, and continue on keyframing your shots. And again, he makes quite the run. I say he, but it's really me. Until he hits over here. So since there's 3 beats in the middle, I'm just going to go find the shot. Make the keyframe. Hit U to open up that. Line up the keyframe. Cut here and cut here. Keep those all open. And then boom, makes the shot, and the clip ends. We'll end the clip here. So right now, if you rewatch this, all the shots are lined up. Okay. Now, in a perfect world, when shots are fast-paced, you can hit them in each mark. But unfortunately, we're not that lucky. So now that all your shots are marked, you want to go through and do the movement. So you're going to want to put one keyframe in the beginning here. You can either just slap a keyframe on the middle marker here, or you can find a spot you want to be there. I think this is good enough. And one here as well. And so right there. So then a keyframe here. Trim the rest of the clip. And then you're going to want to do it again. First keyframe. I'm just going to actually speed this up a little bit for the turn so there's a little more movement on the beat. Hits, and then you're going to want to put a keyframe at the end. And on to the next clip. Keyframe for the starting. I'm actually going to put the keyframe back a little bit, a little more movement. And then right there. Boom, hits a shot. And then I'm going to bring this down a little bit and keyframe at the end. Now, nothing's changed really. Everything looks pretty normal, as you can tell the shots are on beat, but it's just gradual. So, now to make time remapping with a little more velocity. You're going to highlight all your keyframes, and you're going to hit F9 on your keyboard. Come into here. One thing I like to do is I like to scrub through and delete this one and the last one. Makes the graph editor look a lot nicer. So when you open the graph editor, you will have you should have less keyframes to look at. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Deleted this one by mistake. There we go. So I'm going to come in here, and basically for your basic curves, it's going to just be the reverse of the S that shows you already. So just going to make a reverse S. As you see, it speeds up, and it's going to go slow here and speed up. When he comes out of the scope, we're going to do this. And then on the movement, I like my movements to be pretty sharp, so I do a pretty steep curve. And into the movement. This one's going to be a little more gradual. Look at that. In. A little S curve. You have to be careful and skim through that you're not getting too much frame drops. Nice slow motion on the bolt. Add one in there. One big thing I mentioned is if you're editing 60 frames a second clips, you're going to want to make sure your frame rate on RAM preview is 24 and your composition settings should be 24 frames a second too. You can use 30. The reason for this is that you want to edit in half of whatever your film is recorded in. This gives you double the keyframes, or sorry, double the frames to slow down for slow motion, and you can avoid your frame drops. So there you can see the difference from before and after. So same thing, highlight these. Well, it's going to be F9 for you. Go in here and change these. This is a pretty aggressive transition, so I'm just going to make this kind of an aggressive one. There's that, so I'll play that. Go, highlight the next clip, go into it. Same thing, I want to speed this up quite a bit. I want real slow motion, zooming in, and then fast. The last shot is going to hit, and I want to get this real slow as well. So get some frame drops so I can show you guys frame blending. Okay, so let's see how this all looks now. So that looks pretty good. So I'll just show you guys an example here. If you are getting, which is probably not the best place to use it. If you are getting frame drops, even though you're editing 60 frames a second within 24 frame comp, which can happen depending how slow you're going with time remapping, there's a thing called frame blending, which basically is gonna fill the in between frames. So I'll try to get some examples of frame drops. So if you come here, let's say we make this way too slow. Excuse me. So I'm going to make this really slow, so we're going to get some frame drops in here. So as you can see, as I skip through a frame, every other frame is the same frame twice. So that's going to look really choppy once played. Play it. So you can see that choppy low FPS. Frame blending. You're going to go over here on your clip and this column. Not this one. Click it twice. It's a lot better looking. And what that's going to do is it's going to interpret frames in between, so every frame is slightly different. And if it's a very still frame, it'll look really good and convincing. You can go really slow. However, if you turn it on for the entire clip, you'll get a lot of warping. So you can see here in this frame the warping. No frame blending, and then frame blending and warping. So since you don't need it for this portion here, this portion, and you want to avoid all that frame blending, which, you can see here again, it's really ugly. What you would do is, you would go to the section where you need it, and just split that layer, and just turn it on there. And then that way it's only enabled for that small portion. Everything else is no frame blending and still super smooth and clean. So again, I'll show you guys. Alright. I think I missed the syncing part. Yeah, I did. So then here, I want to make it like super slow as you bring it down, and this is going to be choppy. You already see how choppy it is. Actually, it's not that bad. It's still smooth. So overall, now we want to get into cinematics. Sorry, not cinematics. Apologies. I want to get into sound effects. A simple way to do this is I like to put this in its own comp. Just go find the clip. Go to where he hits the shots. Open up the waveform. Listen. And just cut that. This is a good way if you like in-game, but you don't want all the in-game because there's voice chat, UAVs, things making sound. You just find a good shot that he hits, because if you're not aware, the sound effect's different if you hit a shot or if you miss. Just find one where he actually hits. It has all the, I don't know what to call it, notification sounds of a kill. Clip it, turn the visual off so it's just an audio clip, and you're just going to grab that and go find your clip. And you're going to put it here. So now you got a gunshot. It's much too loud, so you're going to want to turn it down, maybe -10. Listen again. Still probably way too harsh. -15. It's really quiet songs, maybe -25. So maybe -20 is the sweet spot. And you're going to want to keyframe it and kind of just fade it out. And just copy and paste it on all your shots. That is a quick, clean, easy way to sync. The last shot at the end was not needed. But there you have it, guys. There's how to sync with timer mapping. I was also thinking of Twixtor, but we'll get into that in a different tutorial. Next tutorial up, I'll be doing the effects on everything, and then after that I'll be doing sound effects, so just keep an eye out for that, and thanks for watching. Jingle dick.